Hello, my snacks. Welcome back. My name is Jack. Today I screwed up by sending my ex on a dream vacation to Barcelona. Today I screwed up, or should I say, over the course of the last year, I've screwed up by being so completely blind at what was going on. I basically had met my ex and we began a long-distance relationship that was working pretty well, I thought. Due to the fact that my job allows me to freely travel for little to no cost, it is also a benefit because I can have a travel companion for virtually nothing as well. I met someone and fell in love. Head over heels. He wanted to go to places like Cuba, New York, etc., and I made it happen as soon as I could. I consider experiences a love language, and I was in love. Anyway, a couple of months ago, the relationship was on a decline. Our work schedules weren't aligning, and it made it difficult to see each other. In turn, this made any kind of arguments or disagreements worse because we couldn't be together to fully discuss and hash things out face to face. One day, he called me to ask for a break, and I simply replied with, yeah. It could be a break for good. I don't really believe breaks are beneficial. For me, you either stick it out and work on the issues or leave. Although my heart was ripped to shreds, it was mostly an amicable break. I told him we could stay friends, and if he needed help with traveling, my benefits still have him tacked on, so there is no use in wasting them. Here is where I screwed up. I figured he'd use the benefits to see his friends that are stateside. He lives in the Caribbean, or visit his family or something along those lines. Nope. After ignoring me for a while, he popped up out of nowhere and asked for me to send him to Barcelona. This was obviously a big ask, but virtually no cost to me. And I stupidly figured this was an olive branch to us remaining friends or parts of each other's lives. Maybe he was going through something and needed some soul searching and a reset. After he comes back from vacation, it is his birthday and he starts posting online pictures of him and his friends over the last year. This is how I found out he had been dating someone else during the time we were together. Even better, he had gone to Barcelona with this person and had a beautiful dream of a vacation. Unknowingly, I sent my ex that I was still in love with on a romantic vacation with someone he had been cheating on me with over the course of our relationship. Ouch. Yeah, sometimes the pain of being single isn't that bad of a pain to be dealing with. Obviously, many would believe that you should be petty about this and let that girlfriend know to shatter that relationship, but I think we can also argue along with this comment that this isn't being petty, this is just making someone deservedly know that they're with a cheating partner. Either way, it's an absolute shame that once again, someone is going to have severe relationship PTSD come the next guy who might actually be decent and worth the opportunity. So this Today I Screwed Up was actually from 5 days ago, but turns out it's just a pathetic ripoff of a story that was only 11 months ago. Like, bro, if you're gonna try and steal other people's stories, at least wait a few years. Either way, I never came across it, so let's dive in. Today I screwed up by checking my partner's messages and almost ruining our relationship. The wound is still fresh, so bear with me. I had a rough day and my fiance's algorithms are top-notch, so I was scrolling through his apps to entertain myself, hoping for a pick-me-up. He went to take a shower. I opened his Instagram, got bored with Reddit, so sorry, and noticed he had a couple new DMs. We don't snoop through each other's phones, but we don't hide anything either, or so I thought. So I clicked on them just to see if they were important because he doesn't check Insta that often. Well, I see the DMs are from a deleted account, thus sparking my interest. So I click and I scroll. Messages go years back, maybe 20 to 30 messages total, some winky faces, some slightly intimate memes, and a few photos of lingerie. Nothing outright incriminating, but who is this bitch? My heart dropped. We're getting married in less than 5 months. These messages aren't okay. Like, he's not a cheater? But never once have I questioned that, nor has he given me any reason to. I start to see red. I put on my big girl pants, wipe my tears, and storm into the bathroom. Rip open the shower curtain, revealing this idiot's, albeit glorious, naked body. He, though quite startled, raises his eyebrows and smirks, looking to join. He says, "Wrong move, buddy." I go off, like a badass. He denies it, like a liar. I hold his towel hostage and toss him his phone so he can see for himself. He scrolls and pulls off this wildly confused demeanor. I literally see the blood leave his face. He just kinda says, stuttering, "Baby, I don't know." We go back and forth. He swears up and down he has no idea who this could be. "I'm just as surprised as you are," he claims criminally. So, I take his phone so I can quote this other woman for emphasis. I ready my best Valley Girl voice and scroll to the most recent received messages. I notice for the first time, inconveniently so, a picture she sent of a guinea pig. I think, hell, I love guinea pigs. Then I remember, I have seen this guinea pig before. Then I realize, she is me. I deleted all my social media almost a year ago. Neither of us remembered any of the messages we sent. I started laughing and happy crying. My fiance looks as if he just won the lottery and received the death penalty simultaneously. Now we sit, both recently showered, debating whether or not we should welcome a guinea pig into our family. I am so embarrassed. He is so relieved. We are crazy, stupid, and so in love.
If you like pina coladas.
No, just wait until after the wedding you realize he sleeps every damn night with his ex-girlfriend. That's also you. That's really all it is, just a cute little funny story that happened, but oh man, does their edit not expose just how ridiculously some people have taken this story. She says she wrote this quickly, not expecting it to blow up. If they could, looking back, they would have changed a lot of the wording. He's not leaving me. I didn't assault him. What? When did you even get, where was the implication you did so? What, because you pulled the shower curtain and exposed the naked body of your partner who you see naked all the time? She goes on to say, this was her first experience of a possible cheater and she didn't know how to handle it. Understandable. Very clear to see that they have worked this out very maturely as a couple. With another final letter just clarifying how they have respectful boundaries for each other and this was just a huge coinky-dink of circumstances, if anything. Either way, man, people on Reddit complain that some of the stories are too depressing, but when a good little feel-good story comes up, oh man, they attack it. Now over to a more opposite end of actual snooping. They posted 3 days ago and then just backflipped out of the internet out of shame. I found out I'm the literal backup to my pregnant fiance and walked out. She's begging me to go back. I'm not sure what to do. A bit of very relevant back history. We first met 6 years ago at my then job, and we were just colleagues then. I split up with my ex 4 years ago, roughly then, and we started seeing each other casually 3 years ago, until she asked me if she could give it a go as a serious relationship just over 2 years ago. A lot has happened in the past 2 years. She had a preventive double mastectomy due to having the breast cancer gene. We both sold our respective houses, moved in together, got pregnant, and I proposed 6 months ago. She has been telling me in the past few months she's so in love with me, can't wait to start our family, and even wants more kids with me. We only planned to have the one, but because she's so happy, we were even saying she was thinking about having another kid straight after our first is born so we could start our family before she has a hysterectomy due to the gene. Right, okay, so why are you leaving her again? So she went on maternity last week, and we have 2 weeks to go before our child is born. Sod's Law said my phone died a few days ago, so I asked her if I could use her old ones until my new one came. She said of course, and told me which one and said it should be empty, really. Important thing to note here is that she actually has 2 of the same make, but different models, so by mistake, I grabbed the wrong one and logged in and said, oh, I thought it was blank. She said without thinking she must be baby-brained again, so to do what I want and delete anything I don't need. After a short while, I start going through the phone and see she has conversations with her bestie in there, and the last dates were just before we committed to each other. Basically, she was talking to her and literally weighing all her options up about having kids with whoever before it's too late, and she was going over her backups, and I saw their chat about me. Basically, the consensus was I was the shortest and oldest of her guys she was seeing, but I had the best prospects, most stable job, best personality, most common interests, funny, good in bed, and good looking even if I'm not her usual type. So she said she was going to give it a go, and her friend encouraged her. Then I guess we started dating. The messages stopped when she was starting to go through her mastectomies and got a new phone. Okay, in the first half, I'm kind of on his side, but at the end of that paragraph, bro, she just listed you as being one of the most unique and perfect fits for her. What? Damn, despite not being what she usually goes for, you tick the box in looks, in bed, you're funny, you have common interests, best personality. She literally already thought you were great. Well, I just went what the hell, babe, out loud, and she initially was clueless, but realized the phone I had. She was more mortified, and she was spiraling, trying to explain herself, but not making much sense. I literally told her to shut up, grabbed my stuff, and walked out. I booked into a B&B and have been staying there a couple of days. She's been messaging me, sending video messages, literally begging me to come home, crying so we can talk. I can't face it. I feel so freaking humiliated and used. I've gone from the happiest I've been in years to feeling like my last couple of years is a bit of a lie. I keep going through the messages on one hand and thinking of the way she's been in the past few months on the other, telling me how much she's in love with me, how happy she is, she wouldn't change the past couple of years, and how she's looking forward to starting a family with me, saying things like she has an actual crush on me, even just sends me texts with a love heart on. I literally don't know what to do. Do I go back and talk, or wait it out until she has the baby, then go back and discuss it then? I'm a literal mess, Reddit. Oh man, what have you done? It's only fair to consider his likely side of this though. Bro clearly has never been in a dating situation where he gets to actually weigh her options like many women do. Any guy can attest to the subtle fear you have, where someone you really like is basically treating you as just a pool of actors to choose from, to cast for their film. I can acknowledge his reaction at first, but to go all the way to leave, storm out, and for a few days? Like, bro, my brother, dude. Back up and rethink this. She is seeing a couple of people and she goes down the list and you come as the definite winner in most categories. She decides to get serious with you and it works out really well and you're butthurt about what exactly? What did you expect? To be 10 out of 10 in every single category? Is being the best partner in only the most important categories not good enough for you? Make this make sense to me. As another comment highlights, this wasn't a case of her even actually dating multiple guys at once at first. She just made a normal choice between prospective dates based on future prospects and attraction. If you don't think thought or rationality play a part in deciding who to date, then what do you think it should be based on? Or who do you think it is normal to fall in love with on the first date without bothering to get to know someone? But yeah, I think it's clear to say that this is just OP's insecurity talking right now. After all, I think we can all mutually agree whichever side of the pendulum you swing. If this girl got rejected by guys she selected as her first choice and then decided on him, yeah, you'd be right to be upset. But it doesn't seem like he was the actual backup here anyway. He did come back with a bit of an edit though a few days later. You're all right. I shouldn't just walk out and leave her while she's so vulnerable.
Yay!
I'm going to go home at least and be with her until the baby is here and we'll see what happens there.
No!
Can't say I know long term how I'll feel and what will happen or that I'm happy, but we'll tackle that when it comes. I told a woman about her cheating husband, which broke my best friend's trust. I, 30 female, have become very close friends with two girls, Becca, 29 female, and Caroline, 30 female, over the past year. We hang out a lot and we call each other sisters. Their friendship is super important to me, but I worry I may have ruined it. See, Caroline works at a library with this guy, David, 30-something male. They were flirting for 2 months before David confessed that he's actually married and cannot be with Caroline in any way. This, of course, made Caroline super sad, so we, Becca and I, comforted her when she told us this deep and emotional secret. Apparently, David saw Caroline was sad at work and he apologized that he was the reason for her pain and said he just wanted to see her smile again and met her at a bar to clear the air about their situation. They flirted for hours. After the bar, he told her that he can't see her again, which made her sad, and we comforted her again. But fast forward to the next workday, David noticed Caroline was sad again, so he lamented that she's such a great girl, and he's such a trash guy, and she deserves so much better, and offered to take her somewhere to talk about their situation. Well, they've been repeating this cycle for a while now. She is sad, he is guilty, he made her sad and he likes her attention, so he flirts with her and then takes her out. They flirt all night, then he tells her they can't do this again and she's heartbroken again. Rinse, lather, repeat. I and Becca will race over to Caroline's townhouse and comfort her about every 1 to 2 weeks after he's told her he can't meet up with her again and she's despondent again. She tells us everything they did and said, and I understand that I'm privileged for her to trust us with that information because that is personal, emotional, and a secret. Now, I've been cheated on and it broke my heart. I still struggle with insecurities and pain that my past partner's infidelity caused me. Caroline knows this. Unfortunately, I know that makes this personal for me, and I am very biased. But every week when Caroline is crying, I can't stop but think about David's poor wife. Caroline was able to find David's Facebook and showed us. This last time, though, Caroline admitted her and David's date got physical. And after comforting Caroline, I couldn't sleep. I knew Caroline and David were having an emotional affair, which is terrible, but having things get physical was too much for me. I made a dummy Facebook account, found David's Facebook, then found his wife's Facebook, and I sent her a message. It was very short, and I made it sound like I just witnessed David and some girl at a bar. I did this last night. Well, now Caroline messaged me that David has blocked her out of respect for his wife, and she is hurt. I'm going over tonight to tell her what I did. I'm concerned I may lose a really important friendship. I recognize I broke Caroline's trust and she would be well within her rights to stop being my friend. I also understand Becca may feel the same and also cut ties with me for what I've done. I love Caroline and Becca like a sister, but I couldn't sit and not say anything anymore. Is there anything I can do or say to help salvage this or these friendships?
No, I don't know about you, but personally, I feel like when you confide within someone else your scummy behavior, they have every right to cleanse themselves of this situation so they can't be someone who's equally bad through omission of just being a part of the situation. The fact Caroline knows your personal history with affairs and cheating, this is totally on her. If anything, I'd honestly be disappointed in you if you didn't do this. Though insanely enough, some people genuinely think she should keep her mouth shut, like,
snitches get stitches, but way to go, homewrecker.
like, I'm sorry. How the hell is Caroline the victim here? I mean, yeah, I can see she's being a victim because this guy is clearly walking all over her constantly. She must be really into feet if she likes being treated like such a doormat.
Oh, you broke the trust and she shouldn't be your friend. You were interfering in matters that really don't concern you. Your job as a friend,
Didn't realize friendships were jobs.
is to give her your emotional support and friendship, but you overstepped.
Yes, because clearly Caroline was always at a right sound of mind when she's ever seeing this man. You know, sad, depressed, longing for him, even though he's clearly just consistently breaking her heart.
She shared the private details of her life with you, and instead of keeping her details to yourself, you decided to act on it, which I'm sorry, it's crossing a line. As much as I may hate what my friends are doing, I would never break their trust like this, and I would be appalled at a friend who broke my trust like this.
Yada yada yada. Apparently the best friend is one who enables things. Other more sound of mind thoughts, there's no legitimate need to tell her what you did. She's the one who chose to continue to be involved with a married man. There's also no need to remain friends with people who help married men cheat.
OP, are these the kind of values you want in your friends?
So with all that varying degree of advice, the OP returns a few days later.
First and foremost, thank you to everyone who commented on my first post. I read every comment and I really appreciated the different opinions, including the ones that I was a crappy friend. I know most people advised me against telling my friend what I did, but that felt hypocritical and cowardly to me. No shame on anyone else, it just didn't sit right with me. I couldn't tell her truth, then hide mine, you know? Now, before I get into it, I would like to address the comments recommending that she and I talk about how wrong this all was. Unfortunately, me and Caroline had many conversations about the situation and how it was wrong and how innocent people were being deceived. Unfortunately, her reoccurring response was that she knows it's wrong, but she can't even think about the wife or how bad it all is when he's around. She had it bad. Oh, but remember, it's bad to overstep a friendship when they're clearly being sickeningly infatuated with someone. No. Good friends enable, remember? Good friends enable. We also talked about David leaving his wife, but Carolyn let me know that was not on the table with David, and she did not want a serious relationship with him anyway, because she knew she would not be able to trust him. Oh. Okay, so this is a case of Caroline just being extremely horny. Man, this man must have an incredible tongue. We had also briefly talked about therapy, which she seemed to consider. She also had tried to get over David with another guy who was cute, kind, and respectful, but she said he was uninteresting and talked at length about how she imagined David when she was with this new guy. In any case, the day after I messaged the wife, I went over to Caroline's house as soon as she said she was home from the library. I brought her favorite cookies and said I needed to talk to her. I gave a very brief, think 1 minute, preamble about how she knows how much my cheating ex hurt me and how I'm still struggling with the damage they caused and why cheating is such a big deal to me.
Then I told her what I did. She was quiet at first. She asked me if it was my place to say that, which I agreed it was not. She said she was very hurt and betrayed by my actions, which I said I understood and was more than fair. Then she lamented about poor David and how he must be struggling. This woman just learned that the wife was warned her husband is cheating and she was lied to, and Caroline's first thought was, poor cheating husband? Caroline hated the fact that he'd blocked her because she just wanted to be there for him and support him in this difficult time. I asked her what she would like from me and she asked me to leave, which I quickly obliged. Later, Becca and Caroline both sent me messages late into the night and early into the morning about how I betrayed Caroline's trust. Fair. I was a terrible friend to Caroline. Fair. And to Becca for ruining our friend group. Fair. They also let me know I am personally responsible if David's marriage fails and for the end of Caroline and David's relationship. No, that's that's all on David. Wow! No wonder the cinema scene is dying. We got Caroline here just projecting all the cinema for us. I was also informed, according to Becca and Caroline, friendship means setting aside your personal values and morals for someone you care about. And I was told that if they did things I did not agree with on a deep level, that friendship meant ignoring my values and supporting them anyway. And that, I just cannot do. I feel absolutely terrible for hurting Caroline and by extension Becca, but I couldn't do this anymore. I don't have the space here to write how these women are not Disney villain characters. They, for a large part, are really great women. I have seen them be kind and generous. I know they have a history of working hard and enduring in the face of hardship, except when that hardship comes to be the thing in David's pants, for Caroline's sake. And I keep replaying happy memories of our Gilmore Girls marathons and our sledding trip. I don't know if I've ever had people I could laugh so hard with, but sitting here, I can't say I regret what I did, or that I want those friendships back. Realizing how little hurting other people mattered to them when compared to friendship made me feel so uncomfortable. I honestly wish them happiness and healing, and I hope we all get what we need to grow and thrive. But I'm okay if we do that separately. Yeah, all I'm getting from Becca and Caroline here is that if given the chance to screw someone over, they will. And they will find justification for their actions. Gross. Emphasis on the screwing, apparently. But still, there is a lot of them, not really heavily upvoted, but still a lot of them, considering OP an absolute a-hole in this situation. Even to suggest that OP is actually creepy for doing so. Especially since the situation didn't even directly involve you. Yeah, pro tip, if you don't want to involve someone, don't tell them about it. Your friend came first. Well, clearly she must have, otherwise she wouldn't keep going back to David, would she? Well, she would have eventually figured it out on her own. Let's be real. I mean, the way she was clearly down bad, I don't think so. Oh, but Opie's the a-hole for taking away this opportunity for her to grow. She doesn't... Look, you don't need to make all the mistakes yourself to learn from them. If she didn't learn this was a bad thing until she was caught out for doing this, then that just taints the general lesson learned. Like, did she learn that it's a terrible thing to do? Or did she just learn that it's terrible to get caught doing it? Anyway, enough with this, Caroline. See you next Tuesday. On to the next story. Bringing ourselves over to r/relationships with this story from a few days ago that's a bit, mysterious of sorts. Titled, My Cousin is Being Manipulated by His Boyfriend. How do I bring it up to him? But as many in the comments would later point out, Opie seems a little too upset about this boyfriend with this cousin. My cousin, 16 male, and I, 17 male, are very close. He's more of a little brother to me than my actual brothers. We've always shared everything, and I've always stood up for him. I'm very protective of him since I've seen him get hurt before, and I don't want that to happen again. I recently found out that he's dating another guy. When I found out, I was, and still am, hurt that he didn't tell me. I'm also worried because I know the guy he's dating, and I know my cousin will end up getting hurt by him. I have reason to believe that his boyfriend is manipulating him and maybe pressuring him to keep their relationship a secret. I'm always the first person he talks to, and we share everything. I think he just didn't know how to tell me, which is why he did it in a more indirect way. He openly received multiple texts from his boyfriend in front of me. But when I asked about it, he gave an obviously fake excuse. After that, I went into his room to get my headphones. He had left his phone out in the open, and when I unlocked it, their chat was still opened. I thought about telling his mother, but that could make him get mad at me, and I don't want that to happen, not even for a short time. I want to protect him though, so I will talk to him. I just haven't figured out how to bring it up. Should I be direct or approach it slowly? I want to protect him, not scare him off. One common question's, if you apparently have no problem with him being gay, what's the deal with relationship, boyfriend, and dating being in quotes? What about this relationship makes it not real to you? It should also be mentioned in other comments by the OP. This guy hasn't come out yet, so he's basically threatening in a way to out him to his parents. And as they further question, what makes his relationship not real compared to any other high school relationships? To which OP says this weird reply, "My cousin has never been in a relationship before and is pretty inexperienced when it comes to that. His boyfriend has had multiple relationships before. I know that he doesn't actually care about my cousin and is just using him until he gets bored." Which, okay, but do you expect your cousin's first boyfriend to only be valid if he's never had a relationship before either? Sounds like Opie's just leaving out many details here or trying to make something out of nothing. Also, shout out to pointing out the fact that Opie is 17, 1 year older. Both aren't even adults yet. How do you know better than he does? Someone asks, is there something more going on between you and your cousin? Oh, for frick's sake, no! No matter how many times someone repeats it, it won't become true. I love him like my brother. I'm not even into guys. Okay, why did you bring up you two sharing a bed and how hurt you were that you were no longer that close last time then? Now that obviously just opens a can of worms of questions. Sadly, I couldn't find that exact comment relating to that, but others have and have reiterated it in other comments themselves. This was shared onto Am I the Devil, to which someone summarizes in a way, I might be completely wrong, but I'm starting to get the feeling something screwed up happened when they were kids. I think he called his uncle a piece of schmidt, his cousin having nightmares that were so bad he couldn't sleep alone for at least a year. Kind of makes me think something serious was going on back then. I'm not a psychiatrist by any means, but if I had to guess, I'd say they both developed an unhealthy codependence, and OP probably thinks of himself as responsible for his cousin. I really hope there are no romantic feelings involved. Yeah, apparently they still sleep in the same bed. It's been happening all these years. There's something up between them. But to not fall down the rabbit hole of just because two guys are close together means they have to be gay, that's the only possible reason, because men don't at all have any sort of emotional dependence on each other or develop sort of platonic feelings of sorts. No. If a man touches something, it's because he's sexually attracted to it. That's the science. It is possible this is a platonic thing. Sometimes people in their situation can become unhealthy, codependent, and as you said, enmeshed. I don't want to accuse a kid, even one with obvious issues and doing something screwed up, of incest just yet. I was in a platonic relationship that was way too enmeshed myself when I was young, and it had no romantic feelings. Yeah, end of the day, as suspicious as this is, we should remember these are children. Sure, 16 to 17-year-old, you're basically mature teenagers in a way, but still, brain doesn't finish developing until your mid-20s. Sometimes people don't even finish developing until they're 30. Point is, I don't think we should really nail this down as suspicious incest just yet. Let's give them a bit of air to breathe. Apparently, this person has made multiple posts about their cousin, which sadly, upon trying to review, the account got suspended. So hey, maybe it was just a troll account, or maybe they just deleted themselves off the internet to save face. Who knows? Either way, that will end today's video. Thank you as always for watching. Love your face. Thanks for coming by to say hello. Remember to drink some water because it's a thing we're meant to do as humans, apparently. Hopefully there's an update to patch that soon. Until then, you be good and bye-bye. Bye-bye.